Yeah,
That's all
but
good.
definitely incentives. I remember when I was in school, we'd all bring like a little toy or something under $5, and we just throw it in a
In the
box. You know what
box.
I mean?
Exactly.
And
Imagine just having things like that, but adult standard. You know what I mean? Like, hey, let's say you get a certain amount of students to pass this test this coming up week, right?
right,
You go and they can give you like a $25 gift card to Starbucks. Just even those little things help because you have teachers who kind of depend on coffee and things like that to keep them awake. You know
no
what I mean?
doubt, I definitely run on caffeine.
And just like you said, for like construction, like I work on the dock and everything too. It's the same thing, especially like when there's work that's running past the time it's supposed to be and things like that, or rather when you finish a job like and it's done correctly earlier than when you were expected, like yeah, those bonuses and things like that, look, I think those are well deserved.
Well deserved, no doubt. Now I think they tried an incentive program once with the teachers to get them the test scores up, but it ended up in a little loophole where they started only teaching the tests, and the kids weren't absorbing any real knowledge because they were just being taught how to pass the test. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's still like that.
So if we can just I think if we can get the teachers more excited, like you said, we get them some coffee coming in,
Yeah,
maybe comp some of their storage units,
give them more reason
buy the
to
stuff
want to
they're
do it.
buying for their kids. You know what I mean? We're
Yeah,
all
like-
required by state to go to school. If you don't go to school, they take your parents to jail for truancy. Like if they're just spending all the money to do that, they should be buying teacher stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because think about it, like
I
you
like
have.
that point.
I will say this: like you do have, teachers who put it in the syllabus. Hey, if you bring in supplies, it does help. So, like, I will say they do use that to an advantage, and that's good. But, you know what I'm saying? Things like that could be supplied. You know what I mean? You have schools that put more into like their sports and like their band than they do into the actual education.
Definitely.
Like I saw, like my school, they started working on the football field before they started working on the actual school. The football field looked amazing. The school looked like it needed all kinds of renovation. Like the shit will fall apart.
I'm pretty harsh when fighting for education. So when I see them like collecting money and stuff, we got a little football team out there at the car wash, and they come up, hey, help support our team. I'm like, how's your science department doing? Every time they're like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know how to let you help me. You know what I mean?
Like I don't mind helping out, especially like for the younger kids. I don't mind it. Like if you're in middle school, that's different.
No doubt.
Like high school and up though, like if you're a college student and you're trying to save, raise money for your football team, it doesn't make sense for me.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Unless you guys are like taking care of everything for the team yourselves for some reason. Like you guys are like an amateur college team or something like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if it was JU and they were like, yeah, we're trying to, then I might like toss them away because JU's, even though it's a private school, it's smaller.
10-4.
But yeah, I agree.
And how about community teams? Because a lot of community teams, they're all self-funded. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So like,
I try to kick them a little bit. But if we can get the community more involved with them, we get more kids off. They're out there running around up to no good.
Yeah,
get them into some sports, teach them some skills, some discipline. I never got disciplined when I was a kid, so I'm a hellion now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but see, that's why I say like that goes back to school. If you put curriculum in the school that would apply to kids now, that they're actually interested in learning. So like I said, you give economics because most kids always think about how to make money as a kid. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like when you get into high school, you're always trying to find either a job or some type of way to make money so you can take care of things while you're in school, or so you can just buy a pair of shoes. You know what I'm saying? You give kids the know how to do that, and they can start off early figuring out what they want to. Because I had friends in school who just sold candy. They'd bring home $150, $200 a week.
I had a little candy store going on.
You see what I'm saying? So it's just like that little thing right there, and that blew up. Yeah. If you give kids the know how to do that, and now I can apply that, and I can go start my own stand somewhere else, not just in school. I can be like, start my own corner store, because that's what I ended up doing. I started doing that, and I made like $200, $250 a week.
That's what's
You
up.
bring in sodas, candies, and chips.
You gotta keep doing things.
Yeah. You bring in home economics, so now they know how to cook in school.
Cooking and sewing is important, even for a man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you can't sew up your socks,
You can't hem up your pants. Now you're looking like, you know what I'm saying, like everything's too big on you.
hey,
Or, yeah.
I think the sex roles have a lot to do with how they segregate the educations.
I want to say no, but probably.
Probably.
Because if you think about it, like, how do I put it? More people look at either you're going to be a woman or you're going to be you have, if you're a man in education, you have to teach a certain subject.
Right.
That's what I've noticed. It's either they teach an elective, a math class, or they're a sports coach.
Now we did have a female coach. It was badass when I was in school.
Yeah, but that's usually for like the female teams.
This is true.
You know what I mean? Other than that, like, it's
Socrates says the one most apt to lead is the one best suited to lead, or one who knows most about the situation is best suited to lead.
Yeah.
You think they cram people into situations they're not qualified for just because they're trying to fill a spot?
Right. Yeah. Or they put qualified people in terrible positions.
That's the other side of the spectrum, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to say that for a few of my old teachers. I had a math teacher in like my freshman year of high school. Great guy, very intelligent, but because of the situation they threw him into, none of the students took him serious.
Damn.
So he never really got to teach anymore, and he only taught there for a year, and then he left because after that he said he felt too disrespected on both ends from both students and faculty.
Broke his soul.
Yeah.
Damn. That's the stories I'm trying to stop. I don't know how yet. It all starts with asking questions. So I got to figure out what's the right questions to ask. If you could ask any question, what would you ask? About anything.
I guess my question would be, how do we get people in like you who would make better decisions? Because now it's more people. How do we get more involved? Because nowadays it's just people from way previous generations, typically who are stuck in their ways, who don't really see a need for change. They just want people to work harder.
True that.
You're not really focused on the people that you put in the situations. I think that's part of the problem. There's no focus. There's no morality anymore. It's just it's just a want for efficiency.
Gotcha. I'm a big pusher of efficiency. It's one of my primaries. But you got to adhere to the good. I got a whole book describing what's good, what's fair, what's right, what's not right. I'm trying to find the questions to ask it. That's a good one. But we're at an advantage because the young generation always outnumbers the old generation, but the old generation holds the power. So if all of us youngins get together and stand up and we find out what exactly to stand up for and why we're all arguing, I think we can start making headway and getting somebody to listen to us.
Yeah, but the other part of it too is there has to be an equal amount of willing to compromise on both ends, because not everything can be changed, but there can be a change made. There can still be a way for someone it might not make everybody happy, but as long as it's a step into where there can be, at least an understanding and a compromise, then I think that's one of the biggest steps as well.
Yeah. It's all about finding the happy middle in the compromise.
Yeah.
Alright, so like an unfair person, we said, takes an unequal share, and unfair means unequal. So there's obviously also a midpoint. Midpoint's what we're looking for. That's the whole point of this journey. Here, i.e. midpoint at the range, unequal to X, and at the midpoint is equal to X. Because in any sort of action, you can get more than someone or less. You can also get an equal amount. So if an unfair share is an unequal share, then a fair share is an equal share, exactly as everyone feels. We agree. In the case without even having to think about it. And since equality is a midpoint, it follows that what's fair is also a midpoint, and equality implies equality of at least two variables. So that what's fair has to be both a midpoint and a kind of equality then. So, option A, as a midpoint, it has to lie between something and something, i.e. between getting too much and getting too little. I think that's the big extremes.
Yeah.
Would you agree to that?
Yeah.
We can't balance it out, it seems. And B, as a kind of equality, it has to be the equality of two shares, C and D. And considered as fair, it has to be fair for two people, A and B. So for something to be fair, you need at least four variables: two people for whom it's fair, and two shares over which it's fair. So that's the class we're trying to figure out. I study a lot of metaphysics, and like we're all our own person, right? But we join together as a community, and that makes a bigger person, more or less. So that would be our two people. I'm trying to identify the two groups that can't get along, and then find out what we're not really getting along about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm glad you said that, because that pertained to what I was reading right over there, actually. That book freaks me out sometimes, it lines up with life.
Yeah, man.
It's like when a good song comes on,
Yeah,
watching something go down, and it like just matches perfect to the beat. It's my favorite time. But man, I won't take up no more of your time. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was good meeting you, man.
Yes, sir. I'll be here more often. Oh yeah. Can I set this right here? There you go. Oh, I don't know what it is. All right. What brings y'all to the park, man?
I like the air, to be honest.
You like the air?
I like to be outside, so.
Same. I work outside all day long.
Yeah, see, me too. I'm used to working on lately I've been doing like house renovations outside, like working on siding. I work on like the dock for the most.
That's what's up.
So,
I love the water.
Yeah, the breeze from like the water, like when you're on the ship, is real nice. It really cools you off, like when you're out there.
Hell yeah. You see anything crazy out there? Sharks, manatees, gators?
Man. Like, yeah, we saw like this big ass shark run into a boat.
No way.
Yeah, so from how we sit, like, it's, I guess, Trout River is just like one of the access rivers from, the St. John's or whatever, I guess. So when it comes through Trout River, like, I don't know how to explain it, but there's a bridge right there. What is that? I don't know, but
I know right what you're talking about.
But it's called Blunt Island. So where it sits, right? Like, we'll see people in their boats come by. We'll see people just on jet skis, all of that.
Hell yeah.
So on this particular day, we all were getting out of the ship, getting ready to go for lunch, and one of our coworkers was like, "Yo, y'all come look at this boat." So it's a beautiful, like, sailboat. Like, it's got a sail on it and everything. Like, big, white, gorgeous. And just all of a sudden, we just see it rock. We're like...
They rocked the whole boat?
It rocked the whole boat.
Damn,
like, rocked the shit out of it. So we thought that was just the end of it. Maybe, like, it hit something and it's all good. No, it came back. And it came to the other side and it hit it again. And that time we were like, oh, shit, that's the fin. That's a shark.
They was trying to find out if that thing was food or not.
Yeah. We were just like, what the fuck? So we're all getting off, and we just got off, went to the front of the boat to try to see if anything was going on, see if they needed help. They just dipped out. They were like, fuck that. They saw the shark and got out of there.
Most people's mistake when they see a shark in the water with them is they panic and flail off, especially when the shark bumps them.
Yeah.
It's a rumor. I can't prove it. I'll look more into it. But if you don't move when they bump you, they'll pretty much leave you alone.
Yeah, because they'll think you're already dead. Like, exactly. They don't touch anything that's already dead or anything that won't move.
Y'all got a big crew out there? How's work going?
Right now, work is done. Like, they don't have anything coming back out there until, like, I think October.
Damn it, son.
So it's just playing the wait
shut
game.
down too, pretty much.
Yeah, but they let you know, like, this will be the last ship for a little while, or, this is the next time we have something coming up. So they
That's
pretty much
respectful,
encourage
at
you.
least.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they encourage you to find something for in the meantime.
They don't
you know?
tell us nothing. They're just like, well, there's no house next. Figure something out. But don't go too far because we need you to come back. I'm like,
Yeah,
well,
exactly. Like they tell you to go to one of the other like sister companies for a
Yeah.
little while, and then they tell you to come back. Because all you gotta do is just let them know that you want to come and work out there, and you can do it. But I don't like going out there.
hell yeah.
People get hurt out there too often.
No doubt. All the time. Y'all stay around here?
Not too far from here, yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Local. I live up the street myself.
I actually just recently moved out here. Like, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be out here right now.
Yeah.
I've been in Middleburg for a hot minute.
Yeah.
She.
Look,
Bird
lots
girl.
of trees, lots of dirt roads before all the construction. I've been in Middleburg for a hot
what's up.
minute.
That's what's up. I spent a few years away, but I grew up here myself.
Yeah, where'd you go?
All over. Well, not all over. Mostly Jacksonville, but I've been up, West Virginia, Tennessee, North Carolina, Alabama. Pretty much all up and down this side of the coast. I haven't gone too far to the west.
So, yeah, I'm from Virginia originally.
No kidding. Trash Mountain?
Nah, Ettrick. If you know
Oh,
what that
no.
is.
I know Trash Mountain. That's about it. That was the craziest thing I ever saw.
I want to say maybe, where's Trash Mountain from there? I think Trash Mountain's further north, so maybe like 45 minutes to an hour north of there.
Hell yeah.
Because we're not too far from Richmond, and we're not that far from DC either.
Gotcha. What do you think about education in the country, man? Did you go to school, finish school?
Yeah, my honest opinion is that it needs work.
Does need work. That's one of my goals.
Yeah, I will say curriculum is important if it's taught properly,
No doubt.
because learning mathematics and applied mathematics is very important. But there are certain parts of mathematics past calculus and algebra and pre-algebra that should be taught, as far as like learning how to do your taxes, knowing how to make investments, knowing how investments work, knowing how banking works.
Proper economics.
Exactly, proper economics.
We need some economic classes in there. You a sports fan?
Yeah, I just don't watch it as much because it's not the same.
It's not the same.
I like clips from like the 90s where they used to like, if you hit them too hard, they're gonna get up and fight each other, and it's okay. They know they're gonna get like a $50,000 fine and they'll play next week. Like,
Them cats need to go play rugby for a little bit.
Yeah,
Take all
rugby,
the
they
pads
don't
off,
get- they-
hit each other.
they toss each other
Oh man, hockey. I love hockey. They'll duke it out and go right back to playing.
and go right. Yeah, they'll sit for 7 minutes in the box and then they're right back at
Right
it.
back at it. Now here's the tie-in challenge question.
All right.
If we paid sports stars less and teachers more, do you think they can connect better with their classrooms even though they're still overbooked of students?
I would definitely guarantee that, because I used to be a preschool daycare teacher, and I used to have to buy all my shit out of pocket.
Damn it.
Yeah,
See, I think that's
Yeah.
one of the main issues right now.
I
Yeah,
guarantee
see,
you it would help.
my
It would help a
mom.
lot.
My mom also works in the school system,
Yeah?
so like, I watch her kind of struggle sometimes because she'll have to pay for things for her office and pay for those materials by herself, and then have to still make sure she can maintain at home.
Damn.
Like, my mom had a storage unit and she lost all her stuff because she couldn't pay for that, while also making sure everything at school and all her other stuff was taken care of. Like, even a little difference, like that storage unit was like $150 a month. A little difference like that would have probably made her day or some shit.
No doubt. We got a similar issue in construction. All our superintendents and contractors and whatnot all bonusing all the time. Like, get their gas covered, drive all day, pay nothing for gas. Like, maybe they should do that for teachers, you think? Give them a little extra bonus if they got to get a storage unit.